This cafe is one of the most interesting ones in Bangkok. It's in an Art Deco style, but it's actually named after a Royal Thai Air Force Marshal, the house of Marshal Fuen. And it's really interesting. I mean, there's even a suitcase here that has Brooklyn imprinted on it, 230 Union Street. And you can see why I immediately think about The Great Gatsby. Everything here is Art Deco. It's really built apparently sometime after 1950, after World War II, obviously. But again, everything here just screams roaring 20s to me. Unfortunately, this is all in Thai. And so if you do come here, I hope you bring somebody here who speaks Thai. But from what I gather, he was involved in the Franco-Thai War of 1940 and 1941. And ultimately, this cafe sort of demonstrates how complex World War II was, because Japan, until the end, was actually on the side of sort of Japan, basically. It had a lot of Japanese influence at that time, and to give you an idea, it kind of looks like the opening set of Friends to me. To give you an idea of just how complex war is and how difficult it is to teach, remember that this particular fighter, this particular Air Force jet fighter, was actually involved in kicking the French back away from territories that Thailand ceded to the French much earlier. And so when France was conquered by Germany, or occupied by Germany in World War II, ultimately what happened was Thailand saw an opportunity to take back what France had stolen from them in terms of territory west of the Mekong River, quite a few hundred years ago. And so ultimately, let me try to show you inside. I can't go in because of the music. There would be a copyright violation, but there's a piano, you've got the thick milkshakes, and everything that would sort of remind you of that kind of a 1920s social cafe style, where you would come in, somebody would play the piano, you would be dressed up. But back to the 1940-1941 war. So what ended up happening was Japan intervened. And so when France and Thailand were fighting, which again goes all the way back to France effectively stealing Laos from Thailand, Japan intervened, mediated, and then effectively gave some provinces back to Thailand in the 1940s, before 1945. But of course, Germany ceased occupying France. France was on the winning side in 1945. And as a result, and Thailand, remember, was also on the winning side. It switched. And so it switched sides to the Allies. And so ultimately, what territories were taken, were given away by France, were returned back to France after 1945. So it tells you how complicated all of this is. And this is just an amazing place just to come in, because you're looking at so many things over here that are just, to me, very, very Great Gatsby-ish. And a lot of people died in that war. This particular Air Force pilot apparently was instrumental in helping defeat the French in Angkor Wat, that area. I always wondered why Cambodia was able to hold on to Angkor Wat, because Thailand considers itself the protector of Buddhism. And so you would think, with Angkor Wat and so on and so forth, all of that used to be one long empire stretching all the way from Angkor Wat to Yogyakarta. And so today, the most vast temples, in my opinion, that represent Buddhism would be in Yogyakarta, Indonesia, and in Angkor Wat. And that, of course, was an area called Nusantara, based on my vague understanding. And so, anyway, this is just an example of how complex history is, but also another sort of example of just why I think Thailand has the most complex history of any country, certainly in Southeast Asia, but outside of India, but possibly in the whole world.